if those King books weren't enough, I've also read Stephen King's Misery early in the year as well. This one is another one of his shorter ones, so it clocks in at 370 pages. It's one of my favourite thrillers by Rob Reiner, starring Kathy Bates and James Caan. I think it's a sublime, flawless little thriller, the film. So I finally got a chance to read it this year. It's incredibly suspenseful. It keeps you compulsively turning the pages. That it is this almost chamber piece, really, because the majority of the book is set in this one room of Annie Wilkes' home, where she keeps the famous writer Paul Sheldon, her idol, prisoner. There's really only those two characters. I mean, yeah, there's other characters that pop in and out through flashbacks, etc. But ultimately, yeah, they're the two characters, and they hold this novel together. Their interplay with each other is tense, compulsive, and hilarious. I laughed out loud in particular places. I don't know how someone can blend horror and suspense and blatant character-driven laughs from its readers, but Stephen King can. And I have a couple of little quibbles with it, which I will just quickly outline. Basically, the first 3 quarters are masterpiece, in my opinion. I think it's some of his best writing, but basically it goes on about 100 pages too long. Now, this could be because I'm so familiar with the film. One of the only horror films, I think, maybe besides Silence of the Lambs, for the actress to win Best Actress, for Kathy Bates. So that's an interesting fact. But anyway, I don't know why that was important suddenly. But basically, the last 100 pages don't happen in the film, basically. So the film cuts things short. I think it makes things more succinct, more powerful, and probably more haunting. It gets into a bit of schlock horror and quite gruesome, actually, in the, and I'm not referring to the leg scene, there's a lawnmower scene basically in these last 100 pages. I just thought it was too much. It was too much, too graphic, and it just took away the real psychological element and horror of this Annie Wilkes character. And again, that the schlock horror stuff may work for others. For me, it didn't. So I really love the film. It's a flawless film for me. I think this is basically a masterpiece for the first 3 quarters, but the last 100 pages I just think got a bit long-winded and too schlocky. If you haven't read it, I highly recommend it. Also, its depiction of obviously its depiction of mental illness isn't exactly accurate, and not everyone that has a borderline personality or features of one is going to be a serial killer, but that he is able to elicit sympathy from someone, King's able to elicit sympathy and empathy for this character, regardless of her oddball mannerisms and her quirks and the horrible, evil things she's done. We're able to get insight into her and understand her, and I think that is that's a powerful thing for a writer to accomplish. Also, there's a lot of echoes throughout many Stephen King books, this one as well, of his of Stephen King's battles with addiction, and this comes through in Paul Sheldon, the writer who's taken prisoner, and his dependency that he's forced into by Annie Wilkes' character of basically a codeine type barbiturate. I can never say that word. So yeah, my point is, outside of the horror thriller framework, he writes about other issues as well, which are human. Another reason why he's a great storyteller.